Hey Adam, how's it going? David here. And yeah, thank you so much for interest in this free landing page audit. So here's about what's gonna happen in roughly 5 to 10 minutes. We'll walk together through your landing page. I'll give you ideas on how to improve your conversions, how to make your website look and work better. And by the end of the video, you should walk out with a bunch of actionable tips and tricks. So let's dive deep into it. SBA Aviation Consulting, elevating aviation, empowering communities. Career Airport, elevate your team. Okay, so we definitely need to talk about the hero section. Okay, hero section is the very first section your visitors see when they open up your website, and in theory you have 3 to 5 seconds to grab people attention in your hero section. Okay, within those 3 to 5 seconds people need to be able to tell who you serve, what problems you serve, and what they need to do next if they want to work with you. Okay, so which means that we need to have a copy that really targets your ideal ICP's pain point. Okay, so they have certain problems, and the H1, the main headline, needs to offer an outcome, okay, or a solution, if you will. So that whole outcome needs to be your H1. I am not sure. You need to tell me if elevating aviation, empowering communities is something that when your RCP reads, they'll go like, oh, this is me, this is exactly what I want, this is it, I want to learn more. I would say that this is not it currently. Okay, so we need to be really specific and really need to nail down the actual offer in your H1. Then we have the supportive text, and the supportive text usually helps you to support the the main claim, which is the H1. Okay, then we would need to add some social proof. Okay, social proof is a list of elements that helps you with your website's credibility. Okay, so it's a list of components that will help people understand that you've been in business for quite some time and that you know pretty much what's up. Okay, so for that you can add reviews, you can add numbers, you can add logos. So what I've noticed is that you have logos here at the bottom. Okay, so you cannot expect people to scroll all the way down if they visit your website for the first time. Okay, so we need to have those testimonials, or in this case company logos, right here in your hero section. If we do that, then the social proof is almost solved, because you already show them that you've done business with companies that people can associate themselves with. Because I suppose all those companies, everyone knows within that industry who those companies are. So if we put them right here, right under those two buttons, we'll talk about buttons in a bit. But if you put them right here without a scroll, they'll immediately see that you've done already some business. Then the buttons. So we have grow your airport and elevate your team. The main question we need to ask is whether or not it makes sense to have two different call to actions with this page then and that page then. So speaking about these pages real quick while we edit, they look really similar. Okay, so if I open up this in a new tab and open this page, the structure of it is pretty much one to one. So that is also, I would say, a problem, because the layout is really the same and it's really hard for me to distinguish between those two. And also with the AI images, it's sort of unreliable. So I wouldn't be that worried to use maybe some generic library. For example, the library here you have, I can see Turkish Airlines. I can immediately associate myself with Turkish Airlines because it's aviation. So I know that company. Okay, is the same right here. Here we have also some logos of the companies of the from the aviation industry, but here it's all AI, it's all random, and it just overall decrease the credibility, I believe. So if I were you, I would just use the generic stock photos with some company logos there, so people can associate real quick. But back to the buttons. In theory, what is the main what is the main outcome you want to get? What is the main reason this landing page is built? Is it to click here and to read this through and decide I want management and organizational review? And then you have also these little landing pages for each. Again, everyone looks the same. The structure is the same. So this can be also improved from the structural perspective. Again, targeting problems, targeting benefits, some social proof, some maybe testimonials if you have any. But everything comes down to this chat. And if I select I'm interested in growing my airport, and let's say I'm interested in this one, I click connect with us, and it's literally the same is the same as if I click here. So then what is the reason to have all different buttons that lead to exactly the same thing? Wouldn't it be what if you add like a little inline field right here, like an immediate call to action? Or you can just put this to the left and have the the classic landing page build. That might be too much. I think that's pretty old school, but maybe adding like a little form here in line would make sense, because but at the end everything is connected with this form, and nothing is pre-filled for me, even though I click I'm interested in a specific industry or specific service, let's say. And again, here I need to pick what I'm actually interested in. Okay, so it might make sense to actually, how can we help you just scratch that and tell us more about your list should be the main target for you, because they will tell you what they need if you have this field right here. So you don't need to give them these options if you actually want them to tell that. On the other hand, this is not mandatory field, but I think this should be mandatory field because it's really specific for a business. So you need to have more info. So I don't want to send this. I don't want to test this, but I suppose this is not mandatory because I don't see the asterisk. So yeah, I hope it makes sense right now. So simplifying, okay, simplifying. You don't want people to scroll much. You don't want people to really. You want to give them the carrot immediately, okay? If someone is interested in finding out more, they can definitely do so, but that should be on the landing page. So right here, we need to have a more introduction to individual services. All right. So what I mean by that is that you have strategy, organization management, operational optimization. So all of these can be summarized right here. So if what I would do if I were you, I would have a section one that describes the first service, okay, the strategy and advisory. So you can have some copy here, some image, maybe a testimonial related to that service with the button if they want to learn more, or an immediate call to action to fill out the form. Okay, so right now this seems more like a gateway to every single page rather than giving them the carrot first, showing them, look, this is all what we can do for you. These are all the numbers. Numbers also other important thing regarding social proof. We need to include numbers. How many companies you have, how many uh, money you generated for your customers, and so forth. So many different things that you can associate with numbers, and they should be in the on the landing page copy. Okay, because in theory you can have pretty poor design, but if you really nail down the copy, you will convince your ICPs to take an action. If you do it the other way around, which is really sleek and modern design, but with pretty poor copy, with pretty generic copy, no one will associate themselves with the copy and they'll leave the website. Okay, so the copy, the content needs to be nailed down. We need to talk about benefits. We need to talk about how it works with you. We need to talk about what are the actual outcomes you can give to your customers or to your potential prospects. Okay, and it's the same for each section. So you can stack those sections vertically. You can have different sections there, and then you can add something I call a filler. Filler is a section that is either a call to action. Okay, so one big banner, one big banner that says, if you want to work with us, we are here for you, something like that, with a button. And then you scroll down, you have an extra section that describes organizational management. And again, some basic info for organizational management. This can be one section or two sections. And then if they want to find out more, they can go to that page. And it's the same with the last service. With those individual pages, again, we need to have more content. This is really broad. This is really generic, let's say. It doesn't target the specific needs. So we need to improve copy. We need to add more. Ideally, somehow it works. Success stories, logos of past clients. Again, you don't have past clients customers here. I wouldn't be that worried to have really similar section here. Maybe have logos here of customers that actually used this particular service. And again, targeting outcomes rather than just stating what it is. Targeting outcomes. You can definitely state that, but I think H1 should be more focused around the outcomes. And then right here at the top, you can have like a little tagline that is this organization strategy and the regulatory advisory. And then right here, you say we help airports navigate complex regulatory environments, blah, blah, blah. I think this is this is a better H1 than this one that you have here currently. Okay. And I think it's the same with the other ones. Again, we help airports attract high performing leadership through strategy. This sounds better to me. Okay. If you say that you will help me attract high performing leadership, this is exactly what I want. Okay. Also, if you add to it some time frame, so we help you attract high performing leadership in 90 days, again, that would convert even more because there's this specific time frame in which you can help them. And it's the same with the same logic, the same theories for all of those 3 pages. So adding more value, adding more content, focusing on benefits, adding maybe how it works. How does the process work? So we can have from 1 to 5 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, intro, and then at the end, we are all happy. Then we have current opportunities here. Okay, so these are the open positions, I believe. Yeah, these to me seem pretty important. These open positions. So maybe right here, if that should that's the part of the elevate your team. So on that section where you have elevate your team, so there is the section elevate your team with the image. Let's say here's a title, some heading, a button, and maybe here at the bottom you can have cards of the available opportunities, or they can be also stacked here at under that section. Immediately showcase what's available. If to me this sounds pretty important, so do not hide that, because now if anyone is looking to elevate their team, they need to click here, they need to look through this, find whatever they are interested in most. Oh, so it's this one, we need recruitment, and then they need to click on this button, and then need to click on the role to actually learn more. If you have that section right here and that job opening is right here on the landing page, it's just one click. It's really one click against how many it was, 4, 5, something like that. So try to be more transparent. Okay. Then some other things. So buttons, then back to the button at the top. So we need to ask, or you need to ask yourself a question. First of all, why you have only grow your airport and elevate your team here, even though you have 3 different landing pages. Okay, so we have, it's not working. So 1, 2, and where is the third one? Okay, I think you should have a one simple button that should just be the link with your contact form, and then under that you can have the immediate contact form. Okay, which might not actually make sense as I'm thinking about it right now. So it might make more sense to have the contact form immediately here instead of the button. Well, what I'm trying to get at is you don't want to give people 3 or 2 different buttons to choose from. You want to definitely immediately give them the necessary step they need to take in order to work with you. So I think if you have a contact form here, that might make actually even more sense for this particular type of landing page than having a button that says learn more. Okay, this will be like conversion heavy. Or you can have a button that says get in touch, contact us, let's work together. That can be linked with the contact form. They'll just scroll down to the contact form. And the second button can be second button can be something such as learn more, even though learn it shouldn't say learn more. The copy the copy should pretty much tell them what will happen next. And I think what should happen next is just to scroll down to a intro section or to a section where we talk about the services more. All right. And then in that section, that's what we discussed, different sections stacked vertically. So I think this is it. Long story short, I hope it all makes sense. Then just quick tips. If I were you, I'll just delete home. By the way, when I hover over home, there is some drop down that probably shouldn't be here, but you don't need a home because everyone is already used to clicking on the logo. The services you offer should be first, about should be very last, and then the contact should be again outcome specific. Okay, so the main button should be outcome specific and it should be connected with the contact form you have. And it's the same for the if we go with the two button way, then this button right here, the main button that should be distinguished color wise. I think the main button can be white and then this one can have like a really transparent color so it stands out more. Ideally, you want to have just one button, but anyway, the content, the copy itself should be based around the outcomes, and that this button right here, again, it should be filled, and it should be the actual outcome people will get. So it should be verb plus outcome. For me, I make landing pages for a living, so it should be fix my landing page in 2 weeks, ideally. Like everyone knows what they'll get. Everyone knows it'll take 2 weeks, and it's then a no-brainer to click on that because landing page in 2 weeks. To be honest, that's pretty fast. Okay, so yeah, this is it. I will upload this into YouTube and let me know what you think. And we can go from there. All right, Adam. Thank you so much again and have a good time. See ya. Bye.